I'm inspiring. Peace and quiet, I'm running from the sirens. They ain't been around, but they know about where I've been. Had to put the time in to let them know
it's game time. Welcome back to Paltz Sports Network, everyone. Your home for all athletic news, information, and updates for your Paltz Hawks. I'm your host, Michael Ascanio. I'm a senior here, and I'm the center fielder on the baseball team. Every Monday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. on WFNP 88.7 FM, we will dive into the journeys of our NCAA athletes from various sports here at SUNY New Paltz. I'll be bringing on student athletes here to have conversations to really get to know and give them the platform to share their experiences while playing here. So that's what to expect. I'm excited, and I'll get right into it. We're live in the studio for the third episode. I'm going to start the show off with a quick update on some upcoming home games on campus this week before introducing the special guests we have with us today. For women's soccer, we got a big conference home opener down at the South Turf, Saturday, September 28th at 12 p.m. versus SUNY Cortland. We got women's tennis Wednesday, September 25th at 3:30 p.m. against RPI at home over at the tennis courts. And women's field hockey has two games at home this week. Wednesday, September 25th at the New North Turf at 4 p.m. versus Keene, as well as the SUNYAC opening conference game at home Saturday, September 28th at 1 p.m. versus the new conference edition SUNY Morrisville. So be sure to check them out on campus. So it's another exciting day, and to kick off this third segment, in the hot seat, we have another very special guest in the house. She was the SUNYAC Defensive Player of the Week and 2022 All-SUNYAC Second Team member. She's the captain goalkeeper for your Paltz Hawks women's soccer team from Clifton Park, New York, number 1, Maddie Franklin. Maddie, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. All right, so let's get right into it. So right now, your team, women's soccer, you guys have 5 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. And to start the season, you guys were hot with wins against Russell Sage, Stockton, Drew, Mount St. Vincent, and even Farmingdale State. So you start off hot, but I know recently you guys have faced a little bit of adversity in these last few games. But sometimes, it's better to get some of these tough games out of your system now. You'd rather have it happen sooner rather than later so you can bounce back immediately, So no games this week, but it is a big prep week to practice and get right for your first SUNYAC game at home versus the Cortland Red Dragons to open up conference play. So that's a little rundown. I know last year you guys lost a close one, 1-0 versus them. How do you feel going into that game this weekend, and do you guys have a specific game plan? Is there anything you're working on in practice? How do we feel?
I think our team is so ready for this game, especially not having a game on Wednesday. Our energy today at our practice after such 2 pretty tough losses, the energy was outstanding. And opening up with conference play against one of the best teams is awesome. There's no better way to start conference play other than that. I think specific game plan wise, we always have the same plan, just play our game. We're not going to change how we play for one singular team.
Yeah.
We have a style, and our beliefs and everything like that will lead us through any game we have. Our preseason was nothing but motivating and added fuel to our fire, and we will be beyond ready for Saturday's game against Cortland.
Hell yeah, I love it. And I know it's your last time playing them this year, so go get them. Best of luck to the girls. Shout out women's soccer. So now I also just want to plug, be sure to check out at Paltz Hawks on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X for all game content and news. You can check out the photo gallery, game statistics, game clips, and other important information. So we'll be right back. We're going to have a quick PSA break, and we'll get into.
Get hurt in the game? We tough it out.
The Samuel Dorsky Museum of Art sounds kind of intimidating, right? We were scared you would say that. We don't bite. At least not anymore. Located in that mysterious building across from the Student Union building, we're open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday. Bring your friends or family and help us grow our campus community, or just come and hang out. For more information about exhibits and events, visit www.newpaltz.edu/museum or find us on Instagram at Dorsky Museum. Or, just walk in. This is your museum. Come as you are.
So, Maddie, let's go back to last year to give some context. So the team had an overall record of 8 wins, 5 losses, and 5 ties. And in conference play, you guys had 4 wins, 2 losses, and 3 ties. So it was definitely a battle throughout the season. You also led the Hawks in minutes played with 1,547 minutes. That's a lot. You had 54 saves and even 5 shutouts in 18 games. So that was last year. And so far this year, in 8 games, you have 36 saves, you've played 700 minutes already, and have 5 shutouts, which is the same amount as last year in 10 less games. So it's been a good start for you guys, and I'm excited to see how you progress heading into conference games, and especially this Saturday. So, now, Maddie, in the last 2 years when playing at home, I know that you're 6-1, with 3 ties in there, but down at the South Turf. Do you enjoy playing at our home turf, and what about it makes it special?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love playing on their home turf? Like, everyone's family's there, our friends are here, like, other teams come, and the environment is just so hyped. Like, no matter who we're playing, no matter what level we're playing at, like, it's always exciting. Plus, Saturday home games, we have a tailgate afterwards, so we eat as one big family, so that always gives some extra motivation to go into that with a win. Yeah, it's always fun. That's
awesome. Yeah, and personally, like, I love our baseball field, so yeah, you said who doesn't love playing at home? Like, and I love the whole layout of it, actually. Like, in left field, if you hit a home run, you could splash onto the tennis courts. In right field, if you hit a home run, you could hit it onto the softball field, which is so cool. And, like, you know, I see the ball really well, and in the outfield, and it's like it's a great feeling to be able to go to the field every day and actually love playing at your home field, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, nothing better than a sunny Saturday afternoon at Lauren Campbell Baseball Field or the South Turf, and yeah, it's definitely one of my all-time favorite fields to play at, for sure. So let's get into some of the deeper questions I have for you. So we'll start off with the team. What are some of your team goals for the remainder of the season, and also personal? And how are you and your teammates preparing to achieve them?
So, obviously, we have our eyes set on the SUNY title, but so do the other 9 teams in our conference. So our motto this year has been to pursue excellence, and I think that is what's going to set us apart from those other 9 teams. We have to pursue excellence in our craft and our specific positions and our unity, and just really trust in our team. And by us pouring energy into pursuing excellence as a unit, I think it'll allow us to take everything step by step, which will help us eventually reach the goal of a SUNY title.
I love that. Pursue excellence. Mm-hmm. And that goes for even more than just sports.
Yeah,
it's in
exactly.
Life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that answer. So, and as you know, goalkeepers have a very unique perspective on the game, since they can see the whole field in front of them. How do you communicate and direct the defense during a game? I'm curious.
So communicating, honestly, has always been something that I've kind of struggled with. And most of the time when I would ask for feedback from my coaches, or they would give it to me all growing up, they would say, you need to talk more, you need to talk more. And something that really helped me, I'm pretty sure it was our goalie coach, Coach Lowe. She told me, just pretend like you're commentating the game. Like, if you're watching the TV if you were watching the game on the TV at home, like, what would you be thinking to yourself? What would you be saying? Yeah. And that really helped me, like, focus in, and, like, there was just great advice. So normally when I'm on the field, I spend a lot of time, like, thinking about that. And I rely, too, a lot on my teammates. We spent a lot of time, like, really locking in on our communicating and really working on that. So there's less pressure that it isn't just on me to communicate.
Yeah, the communication is key. And
yeah, definitely.
Coming from someone who hasn't played soccer before myself, I always wonder, like, how you're able to actually talk to your teammates when they're so far away and further from you. So tell me more. As a captain and the last line of defense, how do you balance the pressure of leading the team while also focusing in on your individual performance as a goalkeeper?
I have amazing co-captains and absolutely amazing teammates that constantly remind me and ground me that being a captain and being the goalie and being that last line of defense doesn't mean there needs to be pressure. Like, it's an honor to lead a team. It's an honor to have the privilege of stepping onto the field every single day for every single practice, every single game. Like, I'm just constantly reminded how lucky I am that this was the place I ended up. And given the fact this is probably my last year playing competitive soccer, I just feel a whole nother level of being driven to be the absolute best that I can be. Like, I just don't, there's not another option other than that. And I know my fellow seniors on the team feel the same way, so having that drive as individuals drives us collectively.
Yeah, I love that. And, I appreciate that insight. And to dive deeper on your position specifically, what drew you to want to play the goalkeeper position in the first place? And have you always played that role?
Okay, so let me set the scene.
Okay.
We're at my local club soccer field that I've grew up playing soccer on. And I was like U14, I think, or maybe U12, U14, something like that. And we were losing horrifically to the soccer team. Whoever we were playing, we were down probably like 5-0 already at half. And my club soccer coach, who I love so much, was like, we need a goalie, we need someone to step in. And, we're a bunch of 13-year-old girls, like everyone's looking at each other, kind of waiting for the other person to raise their hands. And one of my best friends on the team reached over and grabbed my hand and put my hand up in the air and was like, Maddie will do it. And I was like, oh. And I just loved, my coach was like, great. And I just loved him so much. Like, I couldn't be like, oh.
So you had never done it before?
Oh, yeah, no. And I had no interest in it either. So then he put me in goal, and then like 5 seconds into the second half, they called a PK on our team. So it was like the first save I had ever made against someone that I had beef with, as much beef as you can have with a 13-year-old girl. And I saved it, and I think I've been chasing that feeling of saving that PK since then, and I think leaving the goal was just never an option after that.
Wow, that's an awesome story. I didn't even know that. Yeah, because personally, I play center field here. I used to play center when I was little, and as well as first base. But it's not like I played third base then in college. Like you never were a goalie up until that point. So that's interesting.
Yep.
Now, as a goalie, and like you just said, I bet you live for those intense situations where the other team is coming for you, and you got to be a brick wall and stop them. So, walk us through your thought process during a penalty kick or a critical save moment. How do you prepare for those high-stakes situations?
I think when it's like something fast, something that happens really, really quickly, I have no thoughts in my head. I feel like it is so quick. My mind literally just feels blank, and it's like there's nothing in my head other than I need to save the ball right now. And then normally afterwards I'm like, whew, like, what just happened?
Yeah, right. It happened so fast.
Yeah, I'm like, all I know is the ball's not in the goal, and that's like, thank God for that. So there's nothing really going on in my head at those moments. I'd love to say something like that I have a specific thought process or something like that, but there's literally nothing. And if I start to think too much about it, like, I just get too wrapped up into my head, so I just need to leave it as blank as I can.
Yeah, right. Once you get thinking, there's a million things going on, especially with everyone in front of you, then it becomes hard to really focus. So that's interesting. And, like, building on that, where you sort of answered it, like, what's your mindset during then corner kicks and free kicks as well, especially when the box gets crowded?
Those are so much worse than, like, breakaway saves or things like that, because you have so much more time to think.
Yeah.
So those I do not like the free kicks, the corner kicks. But we practice them a lot in practice. I think our defenders are amazing at heading the ball and clearing the ball out of the box. Like, I have full confidence and would trust literally any of them with my life with that. So that gives me confidence then, and I know if I feel that way about them, that I want them to feel that way about me too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And when it gets crowded over there, I bet it's so overwhelming because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, when it isn't hectic in front of you, is there any specific way, like, you stay engaged and locked in when the team is on offense and away from you?
We talked about, like, communicating and how important that is for soccer, so I feel like that's really the only way I can keep myself locked in, is, like, keep telling people, like, to shift or, like, where the ball's going to go and things like that, because it's hard to say engage and, like...
Yeah, oh, I know.
Yeah.
Because for me, like, playing center field, I'm the furthest away from the action too, so it can become easy to lose focus from time to time. Like, I'm usually scouting and watching and really trying to focus, or either talking defensive positioning with the left and right fielders, Mixed with a good amount of humming or singing song lyrics.
Yeah, definitely.
You're standing out there for a while. You got to stay locked in somehow. So that's why I was curious how you stay locked in specifically. Now, it brings to mind another topic. We're talking team spirit, team camaraderie. What is women's soccer doing pregame to get amped and ready for the game?
So in the locker room, obviously, we also listen to a ton of music. Really try to hype ourselves up. We also sing There's Only One SUNY New Paltz song, obviously. And then there's a New Paltz women's soccer song we sing, and I'd love to sing it for you, but my teammate Mia sings it the best, so I wouldn't want to ruin that. And then we also do Big Sis, Little Sis in the beginning of the year, and that's just basically where, like, an upperclassman gets paired with a lowerclassman, and it was so much fun this year, like, pairing people up. It's always a surprise, so really only the captains know who's going to be with who. Yeah. So, like, everyone was just so excited and so hyped. So then once you are in your pairing, you give each other, like, a snack and a drink before the game and a little note that says, like, you've got this, I believe in you, like, hyping each other up. We also have a sign that says, we can, we will, that our coach puts in front of the field before games. So as you walk on, you're supposed to, like, tap that sign, which means, like, you're tapping into this game, like, you're ready for whatever's going to come. And then at the end of the game, we do something called hard hat. So it's like this New Paltz blue, like, hard hat, and whoever, like, was a blue collar worker that game, like, who showed what it means to be a New Paltz women's soccer player, like, you nominate them, and then we all close our eyes and vote, and then it's a surprise who gets it, and we all, like, jump up and down and cheer, and it's always so much fun.
I love that. You guys have some cool traditions.
Yeah,
Rich,
it's awesome.
I didn't know about any of those.
Yeah, yeah, they're always so much fun, and it really helps, like, hype everyone up in the beginning, and then, like, to end on a high note too always helps.
That's cool, and I like the positive affirmations too that you guys touch before each and every game. That's cool. I love that. And, like, on the flip side, like, our baseball crew, we're a big pregame music squad too. So we always like to get loose with our playlist blasting at the field with a ton of different genres too, like during pregame batting practice. It keeps us loose, flowing, and we want good energy in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
And ready to go to war.
Yeah.
Shout out my dogs, Justin and Nick Harvey. Miss you guys. So now, back to your team. What do you think is the biggest strength of this year's team, and how has that developed over your seasons here at New Paltz? Like, what makes this team unique?
I think over the past 3 years, this specific team just has a whole new level of, like, really just loving each other, and, like, the sense of camaraderie that we have is something that I've never really feel like I felt on a team before. Like, I know I would go to war for any of my teammates, and I'm fully confident any of them would for me. Like, we had a game in the Drew tournament. We played against Drew and other teams, and someone pushed me over in the box, and one of my teammates started fighting with her, and then she started fighting with her, and then I jumped in, and it was just, like, this mess. But, like, knowing, like, we have each other's backs like that is so important. And I feel like when we really tap into that, like, when we're really connected and playing not for ourselves and for us to, like, score or make a save or something like that, but really playing for each other, like, we're unstoppable.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I love that you use go to war, because that became our motto last year as well. So that's it. You go to war for your girls, for your guys, and let's do this thing and win. Now, we'll be right back with we're going to have a quick PSA break for a minute.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is working to help keep you and your community safe from the threat of novel or new coronavirus. Take the following everyday steps to help avoid the spread of all respiratory viruses. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue. Throw the tissue away and then wash your hands. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects or surfaces, such as remote controls and doorknobs. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. And stay home if you are sick. Call your healthcare provider if you develop fever, cough, or difficulty breathing. For more tips, visit cdc.gov.
All right. We're going to switch it up to something that I like to do. I've done it for the first 2 episodes. I'm going to hit you with 10 rapid fire questions. So you answer it as fast as you can.
Okay.
And we go. All right.
Okay.
Ready, set, go. Most memorable save.
Probably the PK save, and then like the next minute save against Mount St. Vincent this year.
Go-to relaxation activity after a game.
The tailgate, and then spending time with my parents, especially.
Superstitions or rituals before a match.
Everything I do before a game is superstitious. It's too many to get into, I think.
I'm the same way. Favorite professional soccer player.
Tim Howard.
Famous goalie. Teammate most likely to make you laugh.
Any interaction that Brooke and Hannah have.
Post-game snack.
Whatever my teammate Lainey's dad brings to the tailgate, it's just always going to be good. I always look forward to it.
We'll keep it food. Favorite New Paltz food spot in town.
I love Burger Box.
Burger Box is good.
Phenomenal.
Best team win in your career.
Last year's win against Oneana's team, I think, is a standout game in my mind.
Favorite pregame song. Absolute favorite.
I think British Bombs by Declan McKenna I'm going to have to go with.
Funniest memory.
One of my old teammates wrote something called Leggings Maddie that, is a masterpiece, to say the least.
And one word to describe your team this season.
Determined.
I like that.
Thank you.
So, all right, so that was the rapid fire, and I know I am firing a ton of questions at you, but this one is definitely one of the most important. What do you feel is the most valuable lesson that you've learned while playing here at SUNY New Paltz?
This is such a hard question because I feel like there's been so many important things that I've learned. I feel like the fact that nothing really needs to be faced alone is something that really stands out to me. Like, I like to handle everything myself, and like I'm kind of a control freak in that way. Like, I like to have control on the situations, but like having amazing co-captains and like teammates that just kind of take loads off my shoulder and like help me out like that made me realize it's okay to lean on other people and like relax a little bit. And I feel like there's been so many important lessons that we've learned by coming together, and like whether it's a loss or like an exciting win, like being together and being there for each other no matter what, like allowing people to feel those things also. Like, I think that has been a very important lesson that I've learned since being here. Yeah,
that's a great answer. We all need some help sometimes. It is okay to have some help. So I understand that, but yeah, that is a great lesson. And also, for a quick shout out, be sure to follow the Student Athlete Advisory Committee on Instagram at New Paltz SAC. That's New Paltz SAAC. And they're involved in a ton of our athletic events and news on campus. And they put together really cool things for our athletes, so make sure to give them a follow. They also host the annual Mental Health Green Out Games for all sports, and it really is a nice event to bring awareness. The most recent one is this Saturday, where women's field hockey is hosting, so everyone wear green on Saturday at the North Turf. Now, I also wanted to give a big shout-out to the new SUNYAC Athletes of the Week that were posted today on New Paltz Hawks Instagram and website. So, from our women's tennis team, senior Isabel Vanderveen and junior Justine Staneko earned the SUNYAC Conference Honors for Doubles Team of the Week for the second week in a row, taking over the title from their teammates Nina Genzone and Olivia Kunz. The pair played first doubles both Friday and Saturday and did not drop a match at all on the week. And they earned a straight set victory over Bard on Friday, and in their scramble tournament took wins over TCNJ 6-3 and Union 7-6 in a tiebreaker. So the Hawks hope to pick up another win this week at home on Wednesday when they take on the Engineers from RPI at 3:30 p.m. And also be sure to vote for the Hawk Athlete of the Week, not the SUNYAC, the Hawk Athlete of the Week, at New Paltz Hawks Instagram story. You can find it, and the website too. You could click the link and vote for who you think had the best performance this week. Voting ends tomorrow at 11 a.m. and usually starts every Monday and goes on for only 24 hours, so be sure to get your votes in. Congrats to everyone and great job this week. Keep going. I'm going to repeat the home games again on campus. There's not too many this week, but just so everyone's informed. Women's soccer, again, big conference home opener down at the South Turf against the Red Dragons, Saturday, September 28th at 12 p.m. Women's tennis, like I just said, against RPI at home, Wednesday, September 25th, 3:30. And women's field hockey, Wednesday, September 25th, also at the New North Turf, at 4 p.m. versus Keene, as well as the SUNYAC opening conference game at home, Saturday, September 28th at 1 p.m. versus new conference edition, SUNY Morrisville. I know they've played them before, but they're new to the conference this year, so that should be exciting. And then in terms for away games, which you can also find the live stream and live stats, everything you need at nphawks.com, we got men's soccer, Saturday, September 28th at 3 p.m. in their conference opener. They're also playing the SUNY Cortland Red Dragons at their place. And the men's and women's cross-country team, they're at Bard for the Fred Pavlich Invitational Meet that starts at 10:30 a.m. So if you can't make it, be sure to check out the streams. And once October hits, this fall schedule of games is going to be picking up like crazy. I know we've got a big lineup of SUNYAC conference games to really look forward to, between volleyball, soccer, field hockey, everything. Everyone's going to be absolutely battling in these next few weeks. And we know that our athletes feed off the energy and support in the crowd and at the fields. There's really nothing better than having your peers and families come to the game to pump you up and cheer you on. So it really does make the difference. I know it's starting to get a little colder out and it's officially fall, but bundle up and show out. And after this week, once October hits, there will be annual breast cancer awareness games to recognize a really great cause, and senior day games that are also great to recognize our athletes who have been here since the start. Now we're running out of time, but I'm gonna hit some recent highlights from last week. The soccer boys are rolling on a 3-game win streak. They're piecing things together and just had a dominant win at home, 4-0, thanks to goals from Brian Lazama, his third on the year. Kieran Weber and Ryan Zindler scored their first on the year, and Brandon Danul led the Hawks with his 4th goal of the season, 4th game in a row, and had a game winner versus Stevens last week, which was a rocket of a goal by the lefty, which handed Stevens their first home loss in years, by the way. So the guys are cruising. Check out the live stream Saturday at Cortland, online to support. Second guest on the show, Jamie Albrecht, had 32 kills on the weekend at the Keene volleyball tournament, where the girls volleyball team split with a 2-2 record in 4 games, beating Mount St. Vincent and Centenary, New Jersey. They are now 6-7 with SUNYACs approaching. For cross country, the Hawks landed in 3rd place of 5 in the women's 6K race, and the men finished 4th place of 5 in 8K race this past weekend. Women's tennis took a break from dual match action and saw steady play from each person in the lineup Saturday, including 4 wins in singles action and 6 wins in doubles. And men's and women's swimming just started practice this week, and they're aiming to get ready for their first meet on October 13th, at Hartwick. Also, don't forget to visit nphawks.com as well to see full schedules for all our teams, including news, rosters, recaps of games, and photo galleries. Everything you need you will find on the site. And if anyone listening has any questions regarding our athletic events and news, this is the place to be, as well as following at New Paltz Hawks on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X to stay up to date with all the information to support your athletes as well. Maddie, back to you. I just want to say thank you for coming on and giving your insight on your time here. I love talking to you, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much.
And also, for anyone listening, I really, really appreciate anyone tuning in again for this 3rd show tonight. Be sure to come by next Monday live from 7:30 to 8 p.m. on WFNP 88.7 FM for more news, updates, and another special guest appearance from the New Paltz Athletic Hawk of the Week. That'll be revealed later this week on all socials, so stay tuned. You can also go to the freshly updated page at nphawks.com/NPSN for all information regarding this show specifically. And to conclude this 3rd segment with the message and lyric of the week from the song Keep Going by my artist Mike, everything you ever want is on the other side. If you never jump, then how you gonna fly? Roll Hawks. Peace.